if anyone can hear me, and also about the features. So I thought I'd just make a. What's today's topic? Is Australia a hot country? Well, considering that, you got your phone, you can check it. So let's check today's weather. If you don't have the BOM app, you can look at that, 34.7 degrees. This morning when I woke up, it was 14. So sometimes it can be hot. Uh, if we look at another place, Alice Springs, 36 degrees. Yeah, that's bloody hot. Is it raining? It's going to be cloudy, but even cloudy, it's just going to make it muggy. So preliminary, it is a hot place to live. Not all the time though. Okay, Perth. Sydney's weather is pretty much similar to Melbourne. That's where I am. So Perth, only 30 degrees. That's actually nice. What you want is 25 degrees. Okay, the coldest place that you'll go to in Australia is Tasmania. So let's go to Hobart. Look, Hobart's only 21.5. Maximum 23. You see the weather. Yeah, you'll see it is only going to get 28. So if you don't like the hot weather, go down to Tasmania. It's usually about 10 degrees cooler than it is on Melbourne, which is the mainland, the closest big city. But if you wanted to go to Victoria or Queensland, you go to the actual coast. So if we look at a big city, so Warrnambool, that should be cooler than 35 degrees. Okay, Warrnambool. Well, it doesn't have any. Okay. That's a bit weird, putting in Warrnambool and it's not coming up with anything. Okay, I think I spelled it wrong. You need to spell Warrnambool double R. So yeah, if you wanted to come to Australia, go to a coastal city. Melbourne is a coastal city, but it is a bit inland. We've got the Port Phillip Bay, but it is quite hot. Here we have 25 degrees. That's quite a nice day. Probably a bit cold for some people. Probably a bit hot for those from the UK. For those from the Maldives, that's like a winter. So it is pretty much hot in summer. That's the thing. Unless you're in Tasmania or in the coastal city. If you're in inland, it's going to be hot in summer. In winter, that's when the best time to actually be in Australia. In Queensland, Northern Territory, because I think it gets like between 20 and 30. In Melbourne, it gets to like 10 to 20 degrees in winter. So if you like that type of temperature, then that's the time you need to come. When you come in summer, it gets quite a hot temperature. So if you just go back to where I am, oh my god, they've increased the temperature to Saturday to 37. So tomorrow is going to be 37. Saturday's 37. Then Sunday's 29. So a little bit of a cool change. Cool change will come Sunday. So Monday's 22, 22, 22. So as you can see, the temperatures vary widely. And with climate change, it's going to affect our temperature. So that cool change will be, I don't know, one of these streams coming from Antarctica, and it will be setting in a cool change. So there's going to be a low coming. And because we are in between, we're on the border of the heat, the dry air coming down from the north. So it rises up in the equator, it comes down, drops all its rain, comes down and it's dry. And then it rises again, it's wet, and it drops all its rain. At the moment, we are in a La Nina, which means it's very wet. My water tank out there is wet, but because it is hot, it dries very quickly. So that is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So what's that? That is 34. I have no idea about Fahrenheit. I just usually Hobart, Australia, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's very interesting. Yeah, do you like the hot weather? Byron. I generally do like the hot weather. I don't mind it. It's 34 degrees today, so I don't mind it. But it's going to be 22. I don't mind that as well. And if you are coming into Australia, you need to know about, even if I just go for a 5-minute walk, then I get sunburnt pretty easily. I got sunburnt yesterday just going for a walk for 5 to 10 minutes. So you need to be careful with when you're going outside. You do need suntan lotion here. If you don't get it, if you're from Ireland and you're white, you're going to get burnt very easily. And you know how people can get cancer when they get burnt. So that's why cancer rates for skin cancer are actually quite high here. And we also have lost a lot of the ozone. So the ozone protects us, it radiates the UV radiation back out. And that has, caused a lot of UV radiation to be allowed to hit the ground. So that's what you need to be careful of. If there used to be a thing called slip, slop, slap, it's where you slip on the shirt, you slop on the hat, and you slap on sunscreen. That was a big thing in the 80s, 90s. Not too sure why it's gone out now. They should have actually kept it. And they actually issued postage stamps. And they had some, I think it's a bogan. Yeah, mate, yeah. And he was the face of it. And a lot of people at the time would have related to it, but not now. So, anyway. If you are going out in the bush, I like the bushwalking. 34 degrees, I wouldn't bushwalk today unless I was with a group of people and we have plenty of water and food. It's really exhausting if you're bushwalking. So bushwalking just means going out in the forest and walking around. And a lot of people go to farting. Okay. A lot of people like to go to the Grampians, the mountains. It's a lot harder. Yeah. I have no idea what AMN is. If you could explain it. Just remember I'm a bit old, so I have Alzheimer's. Maybe I don't know. So yeah, if you go bushwalking, then what you do is you go on a cooler day, not 34 degrees. I would ideally like it in between 20 and 30 degrees. It's just too hot to bushwalk. Unless you are trained into it, bushwalking is just not a good thing to do on a day like today. And that goes the same with any country. You go to Saudi Arabia, you're going to bushwalk in the desert on the hottest day? No. If you're in the United States, you're going to bushwalk in Death Valley. Actually, they have signs there saying, do not walk after 10 o'clock because there's a good chance you will dehydrate and die. Doesn't matter how much water you got. You could have like 10 litres. You're going to drink that pretty quickly in a 40 to 50 degree heat. So, it's just not a good thing. And this is my first podcast. I'm running out of things to actually say. Just not used to it. So, yeah, just don't walk in a hot day. Did you know Americans have to snowboard in skate parks because of lack of snow? No, I didn't know that. But in Australia, we don't have snow. And I reckon that in 20 years, we're not going to have any snow on the mountains. If you go to the mountains now, yeah, skateboard parks, we have them. I presume they have one where they make the fake snow. Now, if you go to the mountains here, a lot of the time they're making fake snow. So, if you want to go up there, most of it is artificial because we just don't get enough snow. So, that's another thing. You go up to the mountains, it's going to be a lot cooler. In winter, we do get snow in the mountains. We don't get it in the cities. It's been a few times in the last 100 years when we've got snow in the cities. It's very rare because we're just a warm country. Are you Australian? Bloody oath. Yes, I am. Are you Australian or American? Or are you both? Because you can be both. You can be a bogan. Yuppie. That's an American. And Australian together. So, is there anything else you'd like to know in Australia? Because, we do have cooler regions in the mountains. I like Macca's. I'm from America. You like Macca's? I think you're half and half, Australian and American. You're a yobbo, which is an Australian bogan. And I ride emus. I don't kill them because emus are just too cute. Where I live in Melbourne, in the northern Melbourne, there's no emus around here. You'd have to go out into the bush. The only place I've seen emus in Victoria is near Warrnambool, which is at least 4 hours away, 400 kilometres. So that's the only place I've seen wild emus. What do you mean your dad, is he not Australian still? Dad, he can tell you a lot about Australia. Oh, well, that's sad. So, on that note, what were we talking about? Yeah, the weather. Just be careful with trains, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. You should be able to get Australian passport then. If your dad was an Australian, that's generally the way it works. So, yeah, mountains are actually quite cool. And if you go to New Zealand, that's also quite cool. The New Zealand temperatures are about 10 degrees. I like that country, except the thing is that it doesn't have snakes, and I'm sad about that. Oh, dick man. You're funny, mate. You're funny. But what are you doing in America then? How come you're not living in Australia? You should be living in Australia. We don't mind Americans. No, I don't skate. I bushwalk instead. And I like to go and look for fossils. That's basically what I do. And do you skate? Do you ride a bike? Do you rollerblade? No? Yes? I presume you skate because you actually quite like it. And we're getting off topic here. Lol. That's funny. We have mountains in KFC as well. if it's a hot day like this and you're outside, then what you should do is you should go to a place with air conditioning. There's a lot of shopping centres. I think the biggest ones are like Westfield, and you can just stay in there for the day. No one's really going to kick you out. There's a lot of seats there. No, you can have Kanye. We have Kate Blanchett. So who's better? What kind of music do I like? This is getting a bit off topic. But I like Foo Fighters and the Garbage, death metal and opera. Don't play your country music here because I'll rip out the CD and break it in half. And also, no, I don't like Kanye. He's a bit over top for me. I assume you love Kanye. Do you like Dolly Parton? I actually like good music. If it sounds good, I'll listen to it. Unless it's country music, then I will go crazy. I had one day a guy come into work and he played country for the whole day. At the end of the day, I just wanted to stab him to death. No, not a good thing, but it was the worst day of my life. I'd rather get eaten by a shark than listen to another day of country music. Anyway, what we're talking, is Australia hot? Yes, it is. Compared to the, North America and Europe, it is a lot hotter than anything else that you've experienced, except for Florida. That's quite hot. That's probably Queensland. I heard that the South in the United States, she's next. Leave Dolly Parton alone. She's probably your mum. So, yeah, Florida is the south of the United States is probably what we call Queensland, redneck country. It's quite hot, but that's where, in Australia, especially in politics, that's where a lot of the crazy people come from. So you got Bob Katter, got Pauline Hanson. She's a, a neo-Nazi. And those people, they're just not right in the head. So anyway, and in the next 20 to 30 years, as climate change ramps up, it's just going to get hotter. Yes, I do have Instagram. I don't mind, but my Instagram is it's for my coin channel. It's not really. Okay. I know. I've got 3 Instagram accounts for different things. Got one for geology, one for coins, and this one is just my crap one. So Balu. I haven't put it in the description. I don't really post there much, but I don't mind if you want to actually talk about stuff. Because Australia and America, because Australia and America are quite similar. I think it's the Constitution that makes it different. Like, we're not allowed to have guns. The Americans are allowed to have guns. We probably have as much freedom. And also, our states are quite independent of the federal government. I wonder if I've got COVID. At the moment, COVID cases in. Yes, bro, but you can call me sister. I don't mind. So you Mountain Moor? That one, is that yours? Because there's another guy just started following me as well. car. And I think, yep. So this is the way, this is how me and my friend talk to each other. He's in Nepal at the moment. Nah, Merry Christmas, slut. Happy New Year, faggot. That's what I like. Streamia. Actually, you can stream on this? I don't know. I've never actually streamed on Instagram before. Anyway, this is just a test of the live stream just to see how it's going. 20 minutes, I think I'll end it here. I got a little bit distracted. That's why I don't do many streams. So anyway, thank you and goodbye.